All right, in this video, I am going to be flipping Kit Kat hair, 2 of these sconces. I had a pair of these, but for some reason, I pulled all this off, and I went and cut it across here, and I don't know what I was going to do with it. I really don't. In fact, I had this out thinking I had 2 of these, so I went back in my stash where it has more crafting and things I'd got at the thrift store, and I found it, and the cup was off from it, and it was cut across here. I don't remember what I was going to make with it. I don't have a clue. But now I have this one, so I'm going to redo this one and this, and then I'll be doing some candle stuff to put on them in this video. So to start with, I like this color. I do like this burgundy or rustic red, whatever. I like that color, but it's not in good shape. So I'm going to use my, what is this? I got it at Hobby Lobby. That's Anita's all-purpose acrylic, and this is in the red rust. I've been using that a lot, and it almost matches it perfectly. And these sconces here were from Interiors, Home Interiors. So, anyways, I'm going to make this one over, and then I'm going to do this one, but it's not going to be in this color. But I'm going to get started on this one right now. Let's see how that color is. Might be a little rustier, not quite as wine, yeah. But I don't know until it dries, really. And see, the edges are distressed on this one, and I will do the same thing. But I just need to fix this color up. It's just been banged around a lot. But I'm going to give this one coat and let it dry, and then give it another coat, and then distress it. And I'll go from there. Now that I have this painted, I think I'm not going to put a dark wax on it. I think I am going to put just a clear wax on it. And I'm going to use my Fusion wax. And just put it on there and then wipe it back a little bit. Just to protect the wood and the paint, so the paint doesn't scratch and look funky. I always like to put some kind of protection on my wood. But you can see how I've just barely distressed it. And also the wax brings the color out in the wood too. And I'm going to finish this one up. When I get finished waxing it, I'll be done painting and whatnot with it. And I'm going to move on to the other one. And then after I get these done, then I'll figure out what candles I'm putting in them and what I'm going to do with the candles. Now I'm starting on this one. And I'm painting it black. And I did use just an acrylic paint, but I have a powder Dover that makes it a chalk paint. So I'm using that because this is kind of slick, and I want to make sure it sticks. So I'm going to paint this one black, and I'm going to give it 2 coats. And probably sand it back too. Okay, I've given that 1 coat, and this one did have a candle cup on it, and it just unscrewed. So I took it off, and I'm going to put this little tin there. But I'm going to paint this tin black, but I'm thinking I probably want to stop and drill a little hole in there and then paint it black. because I'm going to want to put it where the hole, where it's screwed in. I'm just going to use that screw and put this on there. I've moved everything and I've put a dot right there. I eyeballed it for the center. I'm just going to drill a hole in it. A little bit more. There it went. Now, I can use, I hope that hole is big enough. I can get rid of these shavings. Wondering if I should have made a bigger, I think I'm going to make a little bit bigger hole. That would be probably too big. I don't know. Well, as long as the head of that doesn't go through. And you know, I'm thinking with the thickness, because it's about that thick, this screw would go, since I'm not going to have that on there, it will go through, because it's about the same as this. Yep, it would go through and be out the bottom. So I am going to have to find another screw, a shorter one. So I'll wait to drill the hole to see if I need to drill the hole any bigger, because that will go through the bottom of my ledge on my candle holder. I've got to go look around my room for that. All right, now while my other stuff's drying, my red, the barn red one is dry, and it's done pretty much, except for the candle and whatever I'm going to do to it. But the black one's still drying, and so is the little tin, and I got to put it together. But I want what they call a blackened candle. So I got some, what I have, I don't know if I can pick that up and show you. That's hot. This is just one of your candle melt hot plates. And this is actually just an old candle jar that I had that I cleaned out. And what I put in it was just, I don't know if y'all saw the video where I got the packages of the wax at the thrift store. It was the little blocks. Well, I've dropped something down in there. Anyways, I put that in here, and I added, I make candles, so I had some, the black candle coloring stuff for the wax. And this is an old scraper I've had, and I've used it for years for candles. And I just, like a cheese grater, I grated it in there until I thought it didn't take a whole lot. I've used this, I've had this for years. But anyways, I made my candle wax black, and it was just the wax I got from the thrift store. You can melt down candles that you get from the thrift store. I don't normally buy wax. Well, I do buy wax to make my jar candles with. I do buy that and my scents and stuff. But for crafting like this, I buy stuff at the thrift store. So what I'm going to do is just start putting this wax on this candle. If it was deep enough, I would dip it, but I don't have anything that deep, so it'd take a lot of wax. Turn this. I got a little clip on there. And you guys, I probably should have put my camera down to the side of me. I'm just pouring it down over the candle. Trying to get my hand out of the way. Put it a little bit sideways so you can see it. just pouring it on there. And I'll keep pouring it till I like it. And I think it's thick enough. I should have put paper towel down below this, but I didn't. I think I'm hitting the side of the jar while I'm trying to do this. That, or I'm getting some kind of weird, something in that. Getting some clumps. I don't know what else I would have had down in there. Well, I'll just have to have clumps. That's okay. Now, I am going to let that dry just a little bit, or cool down just a little bit before I put any more on it. It's really probably dark enough and has enough on it. But I want to let it cool for just a minute, and then I'm going to put one last coat on it. And while I got this black wax out, I want to do some small ones. I'll look at it. That is good enough. Just kind of do that. It's not going to drip. And I'm going to hang it. I have a little nail up here. I'm going to hang it and get me some smaller. I'm not done. I mean, that's not all I'm going to do to that. So, but I want to do some smaller candles. If I can, oh, here they are. I think I showed these in a thrift haul. But they weren't in the thrift. I mean, it wasn't, I didn't thrift them. I did thrift some with it, but not these particular ones. My sister gave these to me. So, I'm going to do the same thing. And I didn't get a clip. That's all right. I don't know what I had in this wax. I'm getting something red, some little red things. I'll just do one of these on camera. But I'm doing two different styles of candles. I don't want all of them blackened. And I think every time I do a candle, I do it different. I'm going to kind of let that cool because that's almost done. There's one of those specks. Okay, one more dose. Okay, that is good. Flatten it out. Doesn't take them long to start cooling. But actually, I needed... Okay, hang on. Let me put that there. I really wanted to do that when it was a little sticky. I might let my other one... So I got some cinnamon here. I'm just sprinkling it over the candle. Hope I'm in frame. And I'm going to let that dry. And then I'm going to kind of go over it just a little bit. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'll brush it back a little bit. I need some up in here. And my other one may be too dry to do that because I forgot I was doing that. Let's see. No, it's still a little tacky. Brush it down into it a little bit. Okay. I'll kind of wipe it back a little bit with a very soft brush, paintbrush. You can see where I had those lumps. Right now, that's what it's looking like. All right, I'm going to set that there. And that's the one that's going to go on the rusty red candle holder. And I just wanted to do, I'm going to do some more of these, but I wanted to show you these. They're so soft now with that. They're kind of bending. I'm going to set it aside. Now, for this one here, I need to set my, let me get prepared. I need to get this out of my way because I can't work with the hot wax in front of me. And I'm going to leave it on because when I get off of here, I'm going to blacken some more candles. Okay, now what I'm doing, I'm taking some of my instant coffee and I'm kind of grinding it some. And I did want some regular coffee grounds. Where did I put those? Okay, I found them. It was in a peanut can. And this is just a candle I picked up at the thrift store and had setting up. I have a box of old candles and different type of candles to craft with, and I pick them up cheap. And I'm not really for sure how this is going to turn out. Like I said, I do them different every time. But I'm going to start in. I kind of have an idea. This is the one that's going to go on the black candle holder. Or whatever you call them. All right, that's Mod Podge. I'm going to take some, just a little bit of cinnamon. I don't want a whole lot. And a little bit of regular, this is used coffee grounds out of my coffee pot. I'm going to see what this looks like. I'm going to do this one side first. And I should have put a different plate underneath there because now I'm getting my cinnamon that I want to put back in my deal. Now, where's my coffee I ground up? Because I should have done that first. Let's try that. I kind of wanted it to melt in there. I probably should have put that on first while of course, it'll do it when I'm putting another coat on it. Okay, I've got that side done. Now, how do I get this side done? That's wet. Putting some Mod Podge on. I'm going to have to go in the same sequence I go in because I don't want the sides, one side one way and another side another. So I'm going to have to use the cinnamon first. I know this is supposed to be a tutorial. I fly by the seat of my pants all the time. Okay, set that aside for a minute. Get my cinnamon. Turn it this way. And now my coffee grounds. The used coffee grounds. Okay, I can see I got too heavy on the cinnamon in there. Now my coffee, my instant coffee that I kind of ground up. Because when I go over it with the Mod Podge again, I kind of want that to melt into the candle. Now, I'm going to let that dry. And when it dries, we'll come back and I'll put another coat of Mod Podge on it. And we'll see what it looks like. Well, I decided to do one of these since I got all this stuff out. One of the long ones. I did do a video on candles, doing candles a week or two ago. But the sound on it was so bad that I just chunked it. I went to all that work to do them. And it was horrible. Okay, I'm going to just use this. Because it's got coffee grounds and it's got everything in it. Coffee grounds. These are the grounds, not the instant coffee here. We're just going to see what it does. Still different than what I done the last time. Okay, now I'm going to let that one dry too. But I did want to try doing one of these, see how it turned out. I didn't put the instant coffee on this, just the grounds. Okay, this one is dry enough now. I'm just going to kind of brush it back. With a very soft brush. Okay, there is a blackened candle. And this is the one I think I'm going to, yeah, I was going to use in my red, or the rust red one, is this. So I'm going to set that aside. That's finished. And what other one did I have? That little one. I had this. I actually like the way the little one looks. It doesn't need a whole lot off it yet. But I'll get the dust. This I just done. It's not going to anything right now. Nor this one. But I wanted to do them while I had the wax and the stuff out. Now I'm going to go over this one with some Mod Podge. And I want a clip because I am going to hang that to dry. If I can find me a clip. Hope that one will hold it. It's not very big. It'll be good enough. And I'm just going to brush this with Mod Podge. And let it dry. You won't be able to see what color it is till this dries. But when I get ready to put my sconces together and do that, I'll show you this one after it's dried. This one still has some wet spots, but it's dry enough to go ahead and cover and set aside to dry. I like the way it looks already. do the sides and then I'll do the top. Set it aside to dry. Now my candles will be ready to put on my sconces. All right, I thought I would just come back and show you how each one of the candles turned out. Here's the skinny black candle. I don't know why this phone doesn't seem to even focus like my other one did. I can't put my finger in there, I don't think, or it will blur. But that's what it looks like. And here is the one that I put just a little bit of cinnamon, Mod Podge, and granulated coffee. That's how it looks. And here's the one that I put the granulated coffee, cinnamon, and some instant coffee on. And then each time I gave them the last coat of Mod Podge. I really like the way this one turned out. And then here's the tall blackened candle. I don't know why we're blurring, but that's the way that one turned out. All right, now I'm working on the red one and finishing it up, and I've decided I want to put a timer candle in it, and it's electronic, and it'll, whatever time you put it on, it'll stay on for 6 hours, and then the next night it'll come back on at that same time and stay on for 6 hours. I wished I had a taller one, but I'm out of those. I'm going to have to go on Amazon and order some, because I use those a lot. But this was the blackened candle I had done a while back. So I'm going to use it, and I put a little piece of tea-dyed, or not muslin, cheesecloth on there. And I wanted to put a rusty star, but it just seems just to lay flat. I don't care for it. So I think what I'm going to do is drill a hole and use some rusty wire and twirl it. And twirl to stand up off the piece just a little bit. So that's what I'm working on now. Set this aside and turn it off. And get this star where I want it. Which star do I want to use? Like this one. It's probably needs to be about right in there. Okay, but first I'm going to go ahead and drill a hole in the middle of this one. Let's see, about right in there. I'm going to have to hold this down. There I went through. Okay, I want that about right in there. If I could see, there we go. Okay, how far down did I get that? Not very far. There. Because I want that wire to be able to go down in there a ways. Wire. And my glue, my needle nose, and my cutters here. Okay. I need to leave a little piece to stick down in the, see how far that's going to go in there. Okay, about right in there. And then pull that down. Push it down some. Now I got to figure out how to twist this while it's on that. Okay. That's all I need. Let's see if that looks right before I glue it. Kind of pull this up. Okay, that gives a little, has a little depth on it when it's hanging. It's not just flat to the board. I like that. Now, got the glue. It's called heavy duty all purpose, called the welder. It works really well. I'll put a little hot glue right here. And then feed that down in there. All right. Okay, I like that. I just wish my top candle was a little taller, but actually it looks fine. That looks pretty primitive, and I'll adjust the star once it's good and dry. And I'm going to call it done on this one, and now I'm going to move to the black one. Now I am working on the black one, and I did sand the edges with my finger sander. And I'm just going it over with the brown in Jolie wax. I'll put this wax on there good to protect the wood and keep it from scratching. You know, black really shows scratches. And then I'll wipe it back. I'll buff it some. And then from there, I'm going to put the little, what is this, Tart pan on there? Yeah. And I drilled a hole, and I did find a smaller, I wish the top of my screw went flat, but it doesn't. But there is a little indentation kind of in there. I think it will, the candle will fit fine. Yeah, it does. It fits fine. I have it waxed now, and I attached the little cup with the screw, and my candle is going to sit down in there just fine till I tilt it, of course. And I'm going to put a rusty star on this one too, but I think it looks fine because it goes with the candle, and this is a, dropped it down in there. Now I can't get it picked up. Anyways, I think it goes fine. It doesn't need to stand out anymore because it's against the black, and then it kind of blends with the candle. I like that. So all I'm going to do with this, I'm trying to figure out which side I want to use. I think I'm going to use this side here. But I'm going to use some of that same glue, the welder. I use this stuff a lot. It's about gone. And I don't get all clogged up and everything like my other glues, like the E6000. I don't know why. I've used it for years. And I probably got a little too much. Where's that old popsicle stick? It'll squish out, and I don't want it to do that. That's plenty. And I'm going to put some hot glue so it'll hold down real fast. Center it on here. About right there with a little bit of a tilt. That looks good. And I don't think I'm going to put any kind of bow or material on this one. I'm just going to put that in there and it is finished. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I want to thank each and every one of you that leave a comment, you like, you subscribe, you share out my video. So until the next one guys, I'll see you later.